Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new or if you've been a subscriber for a really long time, this video is going to be completely different than any video I've ever made. Obviously, by the title, you can see that this is about religion. I've never talked about my faith or religion on any of my social media platforms because up until a few months ago, I wasn't really passionate about it. So I just wanted to explain my journey and talk to you guys about how much I've grown in the past few months with this and how important it is, whether you are a firm believer in God and have been your entire life, or if you're new to this and you're nervous to talk about it because you really don't know what you're talking about yet. I want everybody to come together and feel comfortable and confident in themselves and what they believe. So just to give a little bit of background information, I was raised Catholic. So from kindergarten to 8th grade, I went to a Catholic school. We went to church every single week in this school. We were taught about religion in classes, and I went to church every Sunday as well with my parents or my grandparents. I grew up believing in God, believing in heaven. I prayed, but I wasn't super passionate about my faith. I don't know if that was just because I was young and I didn't really understand it, or if I just really struggled with it. And now that I'm in college, I realize, the older I got in high school and the beginning of my college years, I really didn't focus on faith that much. I feel like I questioned a lot of things, and I'm a very logical person. So it was hard for me to accept certain things that I would read in the Bible or hear in church. And all of that just got in the way of me fully committing myself to God and to my faith. There has never been a time where I didn't believe God isn't real or heaven doesn't exist. I've always believed that, but I never spent time every single day thanking God for what he gave me, reading the word, actually doing devotionals and taking time to pray each day. But for the past few months, I've really dove deep into that, and it's such an important part of my everyday life now. So what made me want to commit myself to my faith and really focus on it is hard to talk about, but in November of 2020, my family lost two very important people in November, December, within 3 weeks of each other. And I really questioned, why did this happen? I believe in God, but why would he do this? And for a while, I was just angry and I was upset because it all happened unexpectedly. And whenever you lose somebody, whether it's a friend or family member, you're just like, why? Why does this happen? And I don't want to get emotional, but I wanted to share that because that month, those few weeks were life-changing. I spent a lot of time thinking, and my friend actually reached out to me about a new church that she was going to for a few months at that point, and she asked me to go with her. And like I said, I was angry and confused, just wondering, why would God do this? But I thought, you know what, I should just go. I think it'll be good for me. So this church that I went to is a Christian church, so the main focus is Jesus. And I just remember that session, I left crying. I was in tears, and obviously that was a very emotional time for me, but I just had so many feelings inside of me, and I just felt like this is something I really need. And it's been here my entire life, but I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't talk to God every day. I didn't thank him for the things that he has given me, and that was something that I should really focus on doing. So unfortunately, it took some hardships to open my eyes to wanting to talk to God and spend time reading the word and devoting my life. But I believe that it happened for a reason because I really needed it in that moment. So since November, December, I have been reading every single day. I have been doing devotionals and I've been listening to worship music, and even though I consider myself a beginner, I wanted to share everything that I do with you guys so that if you are wanting to start this type of journey, you can see the things that I do each day. You do not have to give up your whole day to do these things. I spend like 10 to 15 minutes each day doing something related to God. And I promise, like, your faith just gets stronger. You have an ease of mind, a sense of hope, especially during this whole pandemic. There is such a big need for mental health, and I think learning about God and knowing God is the best way to work on your mental health. Now, before I show you guys what I've been doing each day, I want to share something that the pastor at the church I go to told us. So he said that there was a Gallup poll, and if I can find it, I'll leave a link in the description box. But there was a Gallup poll asking about, mental health in the year of 2020, and the only people that felt like their mental health didn't completely sink off were the people that were consistently going to church every week. And I don't know about you guys, but that just proved to me how important that is for your mind, for your soul, for your heart. I promise when I read a verse in the Bible or do a devotional, I feel so good after. So that's just something I wanted to share and for you guys to keep in mind. So something I do every single morning is read a Bible verse on the YouVersion Bible app I have. There are so many things you can do on this app, but even with the bare minimum, each day there's a new Bible verse that you read. There's usually some type of priest or pastor or somebody that is discussing what the verse means and how it's relevant to your life. There's a short devotional that you can read and think about for the rest of the day. And it's just a really good way to start off your morning and kind of open your heart for the day. The entire Bible is also on there. You can highlight, you can bookmark things. So if you don't have a physical Bible, you can use that app for that. And there's so many different devotionals. So whether you're dealing with anxiety or you're getting ready for the holidays or whatever it is, there's so many devotionals that are relevant to your everyday life that you can listen to. Another thing that I have been doing almost every day is reading a little bit of the Word. So I got this Bible. It is the Beautiful Word Bible. It came with all these tabs. It's really nice. It has all these different art pieces in it, and it has places for notes if you like taking notes, which I'm more of a writer than a person highlighting things on an app. So I like having this physical one so that I can write out what things mean and how they relate to my everyday life. So that's something I try to do for a little bit each day. It really depends. For example, the other day I read the whole book of Ruth because it's only a few pages. But if there are longer books in the Bible, I just read little pieces at a time. Another thing that I've really been loving is this book. It is the Bible in 52 weeks. So if you want to finish the entire Bible in a year, this helps guide you through that. So basically, it gives you a list of passages to read each day, how many verses to read for that week, and then it'll ask you questions. And there's space for you to write the answers down. There's actions for the week for you to think about or start doing. And this is written by a woman, which I love because just listening to the female perspective sometimes is a different viewpoint. So this is something I do once a week on a Sunday. I sit down, read through the verses that it says to read for the week, and then I answer the questions, think about the things that it tells me, all that good stuff. And then finally, something else I've been doing is listening to worship music. Let me tell you, some of it's good. I'm going to link some of my favorite groups and artists down in the description box. But when I'm doing homework or when I'm getting a shower or whatever it is, I just play that kind of music and it just gets me in an upbeat, happy kind of mood. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys if you are on your own little faith journey. I apologize if it was hard for me to explain. Sometimes God enters your life in the hardest moments, and I really think that's important to recognize, because a lot of people are at low points and they think, like, I'm not worthy enough for this, I don't deserve this. But yes, you do. He made every single person in his own image. So just remember that. If faith is something that you guys want me to talk about more on my channel, like this video so that I know this is something that you enjoy. If you guys know any good worship music or devotionals that I should look into doing, please comment that below. It feels so good that I can sit here and be open with you guys. So I really appreciate you watching my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.